Okay, so the second new feature that we've added in the 637 build is the ability for us to be able to purchase an asset from a re-rent PO. So right now, when you re-rent equipment, you may later on decide that you want to own it. So that up until now usually means a manual workflow. So you're finding the old purchase order, or the re-rent contract, you're off renting it, you're bringing, clearing down those existing dispatches. You're then raising a new purchase order. You're having to update assets and hope nothing gets missed in between. So with this, we're trying to make that procurement process a little bit more fluid. So with the purchase re-rent, you can turn the re-rent item into an owned asset. It's literally just a few clicks, and it will go directly into your standard purchasing workflow. So from the purchasing menu on the main launcher, you'll notice at the bottom of that screen, you will have, depending on your geography, mine says purchase re-rent. If you're in the US, yours will say mine says purchase rehire. In the US, it will say purchase re-rent. So if you click on that, and if you open up a new document, we can then do a search up for the specific purchase order. Now, I just move my screen down a little bit. I've got 3 ways of finding it. I can either find it by the vendor account. So if I'm looking for Sunbelt or Atlas Copco, I can do a look up and search by that. I can look by the E-code, or I can look by branch-specific re-rent assets, which are in the system. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a standard search by vendor. So I'll have a look and see what I've got re-rent from the vendors. So there we go. I've got 2 items currently in my fleet from a re-rent, and there's my E-code. So that's my vendor E-code and vendor serial number. So I can say I want to take this one through and purchase it. What the system is going to do is going to ask you to create a transaction for it. So these will just be normal transactions that you've already got configured. So you can say, I'm going to do a purchase order against the contract. Notice there, actually, if you take that out, there's 2 different options for this. So you can just cancel out there again and just open that one up. Just show you the 2 different options. No, okay. There we go. So I can either decide to put this through to quote, which would take you through to your normal procurement approval processes if you have them configured. So we're not just going to say, actually, we're just going to allow everybody the ability to be able to purchase something from a re-rent. If you wanted to go through your usual approval processes, we can do that. So it goes straight onto the quote. Or if you wanted to allow that and say, no, we don't want to have to go through approvals, we can go straight to a re-rent purchase order. So there is flexibility with this feature. And essentially, you'll just go to the lines tab, and if you've got price rates in the system, you can default it. So if we've got a price for a particular item code, we can default that in, or you can overtype that and manually enter in what the purchase price is for that particular piece of equipment. And then if you need to apply sales tax, we can also apply sales tax in this workflow as well. So we can do that manually. So that feature is there as well. But essentially, yeah, it's literally a few clicks. So we're just saying to the system, I brought this on a re-rent back-to-back re-rent contract, and now want to own it. We've had it on rent for a year. There's no point us continuing to pay Sunbelt for this piece of equipment. We may as well bring it onto our own fleet. We can literally do it within a couple of clicks. So the ability to open up a new transaction, search by E-code, search by vendor number, put in your purchase price, and then all you need to do then is save that document. And then that will go away. And if it's part of the approvals workflow, it will then fall into the normal procurement workflow. And based on the values or based on the hierarchies that you've got set up, it will follow those workflows. And same with if you don't have the approval set up, then you would just email off the purchase order, and then you would do a goods in from that purchase order and bring the asset into the inventory. And that is that new feature. Again, going over these in quite high level today. So if anyone does have additional questions or would like to look at it in a little bit more detail, or have the ability to talk to someone offline one-to-one about this, more than happy to set some time up with anyone that wants to see any of those features.